We're ending a huge cycle. Now, if you watch Greg Braden, and he's getting this from other fabulous people, and they get it from other fabulous people, there's a knowledge out there, and a lot of scientists and people that track this stuff, and it's actually real. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I want you to know where you stand in all of this and what it means to our planet, and I want you to get very excited. I know you hear all this other stuff out there, but I want to talk about that and what that is. I don't want you to get caught up in it and drink the Kool-Aid, because little artificial sweeteners in there. It's not the real thing. You want to know what the cycles are and why it's so important for you right now? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing, amazing life. If we didn't have fear, what would there be? What would there be? You wouldn't hoard. You wouldn't fear the future. You wouldn't be afraid of the future, I should say. You wouldn't lose sleep at night. If you had no fear, you'd live in bliss. Yes, you'd see everything completely different. Now, it isn't that you wouldn't experience some pain, some unpleasantness, because the human experience takes us into that. But you would absolutely live a completely different life. And when you go out of fear, you go into faith. When you go out of anger, it's because you're in compassion. Let's talk about this end of this cycle. We are now past the tipping point, and the split has already been happening. I want you to know something. There is no one place, no one way, no one time. It's all continuous. It's all happening at the same time. There is no such thing as time. And therefore, everything exists right here and now. To divide ourselves and to stress about that person or this or that is the split on the side that you don't really want to be on if you want to experience the amazing new earth we're going into right now. It's been happening, and a lot of people are walking around in it. Doesn't mean that they don't exist with the other side of the split. And there's no complete dividing line. What you might find out right now is that you're going back and forth between the two. Now, I have some very advanced students, break through fear, activate your magic, and I have been hearing this quite a bit. They'll go into a state of euphoria, total understanding. I get it. You know what? It's like I'm not even giving my attention to whatever, and then they go into a state of bizarre worry and conflict over something as simple as the Super Bowl halftime here. By the way, quite a few people have gone into some strange, I don't even know what they're talking about. Where are you placing your attention? So what is that? What is that when we go into that state where you don't like what somebody else says and you're telling yourself a story? I call it running the story. And this is what I usually say to my students: you're running the story, a story. What's your story? Fear-based? Fear, anger, it's different. You shouldn't feel that way, or I'm upset because you don't agree with me, or this is how it is, and if you think anything different, it's insanity. It's insanity. This whole era that we've gone through now is changing our planet in unbelievable ways. We've had DNA activation. That's been going on. Again, doesn't happen overnight. The new Earth isn't aliens landing and taking us off to another planet. It's a shift in a reality, in a dimension. And it's going to be different for everyone, just like heaven is, right? When you transition, near-death experiences, no two are exactly alike. We have some similarities, the tunnel and all that other stuff, and some people see Jesus, and somebody sees somebody else, and somebody doesn't even see that at all, because you're still creating when you go over there. It's still a part of your creative powers that create whatever that is in a different frequency. So in other words, when you leave density, you're going into that space where you bring your energy field, your beliefs and thoughts come with you. So you will create whatever you believe that is in tandem with what is available out there. So in other words, you might be ready to accept that there is a creator, even if you came over and you didn't believe in God. So you go over, and there may be a period of time, and you transition over. It is all planned. It's all planned. Because when you went into your human body, of course you knew what God was, because you came from that. You are that. So this cycle that we're going through is letting go of all the things that created destruction and conflict on our planet. And so if you find yourself in conflict in any way, shape, or form, if you're following media, it's going to fight more to keep you in that destructive, low-frequency behavior and beliefs. And I can't personally believe myself what other people actually believe. And I know that they've been on the internet watching stuff that's all planted, created, made up, false. And even if you hear things that are true, is it really important? Do you really need to get into conflict and argue with somebody? Or are you focused on things that are going to change the planet, creating inspiration, helping others? This is your critical turning point. And so the whole shift of the planet, this whole new era we're going into, is a cycle of not only just the frequency and how we're going to be affected energetically, but it's going to affect weather and all the events that are going to happen on here. Temperatures, it's not just because we have automobiles. Our planet, way before that, has gone through cycles of hot and cold and hot and cold. There are other events that will happen that are not going to be coincidences. You know, we've had asteroids hit the planet before. We don't have all that information, but we know that there is a pattern here, an energetic pattern that we go through. And humanity does too. There are cycles of wars. There are cycles of advancement. And if you look further into this, and I don't have, the time to go into this now, there are people way more well educated on this than me. Greg Braden's one of them. I suggest you go over and watch those videos, but not get caught up in it. Just know that it doesn't matter what those cycles are. We're in one that is transitioning us into something so amazing, and you will hold powers, including your DNA activation that's been going on, to use it. But you don't have to. So I tell people, just because DNA gets activated doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden some saint that has all the answers. Free will is equipping you with things that you may or may not use. It's like I said, the beggar on the street has pockets lined with jewels, but has never reached into those pockets to know that they are absolutely rich. Yeah? And you are. You have to reach into the pockets because you're no beggar. No one is. So whatever the appearance is, whatever the facade you're playing as a human being, that's all it is. It's a facade. It is not what you are. So don't define yourself by that if you want to go into the realms of the new earth and realize that we are all equal beings. And playing that out allows you the opportunity, it's always an opportunity, to be something really great and to learn from that. It's just all learning. Letting go right now is the most powerful thing that you can do, because the transition of this new era is one of enlightenment and awakening. It's the Great Awakening. It's the one where we can step into our oneness and create something so magnificent that this planet has never seen, at least in this timeline dimension era. And you can participate in that. There's nothing stopping you. So are you going to entrench yourself with the split on the side that is still arguing about the damnedest, dumbest things I've ever heard? But if you want to do that, that's okay. It's not dumb to you. Nothing's really judged. But boy, you have very little time here on this planet. Imagine what you could do that's so amazing and it feels great. Imagine the contribution you can make, even if it's such a simple one, as going and reading to kids or old people in nursing homes, or maybe teaching somebody how to paint or sing, or going for a run in the morning and appreciating nature. It doesn't take a lot for you to be a part of the transition, that new beautiful earth that's opening up. And it's going to challenge all of us, because we don't get out of that. But it doesn't have to cause struggle for you. And so if you're watching Twitter or whatever else that's out there, and you find yourself addicted to it, then your ego is still in control. And so it's like anything else. Addictions aren't always easy to give up, but they are a choice. And so maybe that's what you have to master. And by the way, the information you get is purposefully laid out for you. Sometimes, even celebrities will leak things that are untrue to get attention, to put them on the map. And then it gets people all riled, and I always say, why do you care? Why do you care? Be you. That's good enough. And if you're following somebody else, then why aren't you, following yourself, your own actions, your own thoughts? Oneness. Judging nothing. And not getting caught up in the material world, the things that really don't count in this big picture. What counts right now is the transition we're going through. And your thoughts, your love, and your compassion are so powerful that you can change the entire planet and beyond with it, because you are the planet and beyond. Are you ready to do that? It is the new era. It isn't something happening. It already has and will continue to. It will get more powerful, and we're going to see some big changes. We have had a break for a while, but get ready. And I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in a very powerful, positive way for the split to continue on in its path. It's like a rocket, it jettisons what it doesn't need to continue on its journey. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to jettison the things that got us where we are, and we're important, but no longer needed. You have to let these things go. And don't name it, all right? And just know that you're off to something so beautiful. Be the conductor, be the captain of that ship, and it will guide you to amazing places. Don't let your ego try and control that. Others are so important right now. Don't go in conflict with them. Pull in teams. I'm pulling in teams for my new business, Digital Explorers. I'm pulling in amazing people that are so different, that have completely different skills. And I'm realizing how wonderful that is and how good it feels. Not that I didn't already know that, but the timing's right. How good it feels to come together with the different puzzle pieces that create one beautiful picture. This is what we're going through. This is the new era, one where conflict will jettison away. But not if you're on that rocket ship fuel cell, right? You got to stay in it, stay in this game. It's a good one. It's a worthwhile one. It holds great purpose, as do you. There's nothing bad or wrong about it, because everything is one. That means the Creator created everything, including the person that you're criticizing. No more criticism. No more taking sides. No more arguing. I ask you right now, please join the movement that's going to take you into space that's going to feel really beautiful for you. And if you don't, I love you. You can't make a mistake, because you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.